Welcome to the Taylor Swift Appreciation Podcast. This is a tape cassette. This is Side A. Enjoy the Taylor Swift Appreciation Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the #1 appreciation fan club for Taylor Swift podcast.
We'd like to start the official Taylor Swift fan club podcast with the inaugural tweeting of Taylor Swift.
The inaugural tweeting.
Could you do that, please, Sam?
I'll do that. I'll do that for you now.
Not that you've already done that when we started the podcast last time. It's good to be a bit candid, I think.
Right, Twitter.
It's personal. Are we sending her another tweet? Are we?
It's on my newsfeed.
Just send her a tweet saying "still podcasting." So, while Sam's doing that, I'd like to introduce our very handsome guest on the show today. It's our first guest podcast, Taylor Swift.
Taylor, it's so good that you could join us.
It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm just tweeting you now.
Yeah.
Ready? Tweet sent.
I will reply in.
No, this is Mark. He's my former Siamese twin.
I have a notification.
Mark and I were separated. We were attached by the elbow.
By the elbow.
Yeah, we were attached by the elbow, but we went into a back alley. Same mobster that I don't know who that is.
Who the hell is that?
Sorry, we're having a Twitter crisis here. This is real news right now. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
At Lyndon Brook, who is a human singer-songwriter solo project.
How do you guys not know Lyndon Brook?
Who's Lyndon Brook?
I don't know who Lyndon Brook is.
Who is it?
Oh no, I just heard his name.
Oh, right, yeah,
I actually
thanks,
know
yeah.
who it is.
Hey guys, I just posted your turn to YouTube. So this is Lyndon Brook. You are featuring on the Taylor Swift Appreciation Fan Club.
You better feel good because
of
look,
podcasting.
your turn has 88 views, and the Taylor Swift Appreciation Podcast.
We probably can't actually put that on the podcast
No, we
because
probably
it's
can't.
copyright.
I will
and,
put something over the top of that.
Okay.
Little clip there.
Do you need some music to put over the top of that?
So I'm sorry. I'm talking about my former Siamese
sorry.
twin, Mark.
Yes.
Here. He's here on the show today.
Hey, all.
When we were really young, we were separated, but we couldn't really afford the surgery, so we just went into a back alley. You know, I know these Italian guys. They gave me the Taylor Swift cardboard cutouts. They just a butcher's knife, some leather to bite on. It was easy. It's a much cheaper way to do most operations. I think I got my appendix removed that way.
Is the butcher's paper?
Yeah, just like a bottle of Jack Daniels, some butcher's paper, leather to chew down on, and then just some garden trimmers, and it's easy.
It's the most manly way to do it.
Yeah, well, it's not even manly. It's just it's a good cost-effective way, because I'd like to use that money in other ways. Just treat myself, take myself out to lunch every so often, have some me time, and I wouldn't be able to do that if I'd paid through the nose to have my appendix removed, So that's a suggestion from the #1 Taylor Swift Appreciation Podcast that the best way is to get any surgery done is in a back alley by mobsters.
Yeah.
Is that Are you of that opinion as well? And I'm sure that Taylor Swift, who we know quite personally, would be under the same belief. I mean, we know the ins and outs of Taylor Swift, and we
That's
know
it.
how
Yeah,
she would.
we're like besties, which is why we can make a podcast about Taylor Swift.
Yeah. So anyway,
And, in fact, when we brought this issue up, she was really in support of it, and is very keen to set up a foundation for back alley surgery.
yeah. Well,
Or BASS for short.
it's a really good cause.
And the BASS Foundation.
And all we want to do is raise awareness for this this very cost-effective and easy way to get very difficult surgeries done. So that's just something we wanted to talk about. A little bit of humanities in the podcast. We'll get back to all the other interesting interesting stuff.
So
that was our first thing. We just wanted to bring that up.
we had to get that out of the way.
It's always important to
Very
worry about your fellow man, So if you want to donate, just come by Sam's house. He'll have an
tin?
upside down baseball cap.
Yeah,
out the front,
sorry, yeah.
And you just put a little bit of coinage.
Bit
up
of
the front.
coinage. Australian dollars are preferred, but we'll accept New Zealand dollars.
Thank you. So, on with the rest of the podcast. You're listening to the Simon v. Sam podcast. You're welcome.
Through the combination of semiotics and advertising techniques.
Thank you, automated voice, for breaking up the podcast. So, breaking news in the Taylor Swift podcast. Taylor Swift has officially released a list of the boyfriends she wants to date. Not a list, even better than that. What she wants in a boyfriend.
So this is like a really long list of potential albums.
This is...
You're saying?
Are you ready? It's a very complicated list.
Okay.
She wants a guy that has at least one sister because she thinks it will make him a better boyfriend.
The new podcast, Sister. No,
Sister.
No, so that's her new... That will be Taylor Swift's new album, Sister.
Sister.
With
He had
Tia
a sister.
and Tamara.
And the hit songs. That'll produce really well, and will engage the entire world in her music.
I think so. Okay, what else? Because I'm super excited for a
Of
new
course,
Taylor
because-
Swift album.
Well, you have a sister, so you're instantly in the running.
I am in the running, but
This is where it falls short for you.
Don't want to
right?
be in the running, but you know.
He has to have a good relationship with his parents, especially his mum, which is okay. But then, but he can't be a mama's boy.
Okay.
And well, you were in the running, and then she put one final criterion on you that has ruined your life.
But I don't really worry. I'm not really worried about actually being in a relationship with Taylor Swift. I'd like to predict some of the
some of the songs.
Some of the songs.
So
I'm
this is,
thinking a wonderful R&B mix called Mummy Butter.
Mummy Butter. Followed by the country mixed pop song, Sister Got It Better.
You can chime in at any point, former conjoined twin Mark.
Any song titles that Taylor Swift's in the new album?
I'm totally lost of where we're up to, but I really think that she'll go for something just a little bit deeper and more political, more along the lines of Joe Biden Broke My Heart.
Yeah, that's a great song.
Are you trying to predict? Are you saying that in the future, Taylor Swift will have a relationship, a deep and meaningful relationship with Joe Biden?
I'm not saying that.
You heard it here first,
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Taylor Swift and that guy that everyone else is talking about that I've got no idea will have a relationship.
I really hope that now that I've tweeted Taylor Swift, I really hope that she doesn't see it and actually find the podcast.
Hashtag sleepover podcast.
I really hope she does find the podcast
Then
because that's the entire point of the podcast. My friend.
Of her having an affair with Joe Biden and then breaking up with him.
But that's okay, you're not part of the podcast,
see,
you're just a guest.
And you see, this is a future prediction, and eventually I think Taylor Swift's going to run out of men in California.
In California, so she'll have to expand.
So Sam,
Yes, son.
I was thinking
Oh dear.
that every marriage is technically arranged if you think about the hand of Christ.
Hey Simon,
Yes, Sam.
I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, every marriage is technically arranged. Something about the hand of Christ.
If you factor in the hand of Christ.
If you factor in the hand of Christ.
I thought it was if you think about the hand of Christ.
Well,
Hey, Sam, do you want to know someone who was thinking about the hand of Christ? Sam knows who I'm referring to.
This particular podcast is going to take a lot more editing than the other one.
I like the fact that there's someone out there that went, I wonder what Christ's hair's like. I was like, married. Boo! Arranged marriage.
Every marriage is arranged if you think about the hand of Christ.
That's so legit.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So Sam, I was thinking, every marriage is technically arranged if you factor in the hand of Christ. So Sam,
Yes, Simon.
I was thinking,
Oh, yeah.
every marriage is technically arranged if you factor in the hand of Christ.
That's fantastic philosophical view, Simon.
Just a soft clap for that one.
I'm tweeting that.
Oh, Mark and his... How many followers do you have, Mark? Look, I can look this up right now.
I think like 46.
Whoa.
But this podcast is going to do it for me.
I mean, there are
There's
more
t-
viewers of this podcast
there's-
than there are
There's
46.
There's personal gain in it for me, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
got away from me, actually.
But you
Yeah, getting it. So,
49 followers.
Ooh. We'll have to put your Twitter app in the description of this podcast.
At Calvinist_DJ. Because that's close to Mark, you know. That's not confusing at all.
Calvinist DJ.
It used to be a completely different tagline.
So that was a boring story.
You're currently listening to two of the coolest cats on the streets of New York City. This is the Taylor Swift Podcast. You know what my Twitter handle is, Sam?
What's your Twitter handle?
Nothing, because I'm not 40
Oh,
years old
of
or a
course, yeah.
celebrity.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Nobody
I don't
uses
know what
Twitter.
Sam is, but I'm a celebrity. I'm definitely not 40 years old.
You have 49 followers.
I'm up there.
What's the current view count on the last podcast, Sam?
It's a little more than 49.
It is.
Last time
I would
looked, it
like
was
to know the
39.
exact number.
57.
50. Okay. That's
Still more than 49.
that's a lot more than most of our videos.
It's a lot more than our 8 views on Blugulufk.
Yeah, and it's like what, like almost an hour? That's pretty good. I'm
That's not bad.
impressed.
Like 40 minutes.
This is going to have like 2 minutes of content.
2 minutes of content. Welcome to the #1 appreciation Taylor Swift fans club.
This one
2-minute podcast.
This one's just going to be like penis. And then pew 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 pew.
If you think about it, every arranged marriage is when you think about the hand of God.
Hand of Christ, man.
I'm thinking about your hand, Christ. Arranged marriage.
Hey, Sam.
Yes, Simon.
If you think about it, every marriage is arranged if you factor in the hand of Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I think we should start a segment just here. That can all be a little bit of preamble. Then we put in the theme tune after 17 minutes. The #1 Taylor Swift Appreciation Podcast. So I was thinking we should start a little bit of a segment.
A segment, yes, we need a segment.
Yes, because I think we need this podcast to be segmented up.
Okay.
In order to stop us from continually talking about the things that we have been talking about, which are not appropriate for
Like-
a family show podcast.
Stories that...
Beep 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 beep.
with your mum.
You know what? You should never say that in my presence again. But so I was thinking.
But seriously, if you're listening to this and you have Mark,
Please stop saying that. So in the last podcast we were got a little case of the giggly Gregs today.
this podcast sponsored by James Bogue.
Okay.
James Bogue, bringing a giggle to your life.
Okay, so in the last podcast we were talking a little bit about trying to find you some friends, right?
Yeah, because I have 2 friends.
I think we should do
And they're both here.
In the room.
In the room, having a slumber party, because we're cool.
Because a tree fell on our power lines. But I was thinking maybe we should start a segment to get you some new pals.
Okay.
Put you in, like, throw you in the deep end in some social situations.
Stop trying to take him away from me.
Whether or not you sink or swim. Yeah?
Overly attached Mark.
Overly attached boyfriend. So,
Me and Mark have no pre-existing relationship beyond that of just being friends.
an occasional
So he likes to think.
an occasional kissing, no tongue.
Very much no tongue.
Sometimes a little bit of tongue.
No tongue.
Just a bit of tongue.
I like my tongue in my mouth.
It's not gay if your balls don't touch. So I was thinking...
Can I also point out that we're at a slumber party and Simon is in a tie and a button-up shirt and jeans, and me and Mark are just like chilling in boardies.
Because I'm freaking dapper.
Because he's stupid.
So...
Yep.
So Sam, I was thinking... in the last podcast we were talking a little bit about you finding some friends.
Yeah, because I have 2 friends.
Yeah, you
And
do.
they're both
Imaginary.
sitting either side of me.
I mean, sitting either side of you.
Oh, I have many imaginary friends, but I don't talk about them often.
Well,
The psychiatrist said it wasn't a good idea.
maybe we could come to that later.
Luckily,
Okay.
Sam doesn't count the psychiatrist as one of his 2 friends anymore.
Well, it's a strictly professional relationship.
That's
I
true.
hope.
It's a very professional
You
relationship.
can't be friends with your
You
psychiatrist.
can't be friends.
Well,
He knows
really-
too much about you.
Simon's really stepped it up as well, because Simon was like not friend category until the psychiatrist was no longer.
If you're listening, Dr. Free, please note that I don't have any imaginary friends. I was just making that up. I really have been clean for a long time.
That's not what he told me last night, Dr. Free. Don't listen to his lies.
I also want to point out that me and Mark did absolutely nothing last night, and that was not what he implied.
It's not gay unless
We
you're
were-
bald.
We were playing GTA 5. The least gay thing you can do.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, hello there. I'm back for the second podcast, and you're listening to Simon v. Sam.
Yeah, that's very racist. But you are listening to Simon V. Sam. That's
you
correct.
are very much listening to Simon v. Sam on the number 1 fan appreciation
Taylor Swift
podcast.
appreciation fan.
Oh man,
Club
this is one
podcast?
of the coolest things I've downloaded in my life.
Sing a song or something.
Let's not do that. That's the worst idea I've heard yet.
Baby in a bath suit. Baby in a bath suit. Baby in a bath suit. I'm gonna keep going till you stop saying, baby in a bath suit. Baby in a bath. Hey Sam,
Yeah, Simon.
isn't it funny how every marriage is arranged? If you factor in the hand of Christ.
That's fascinating.
So I was thinking about telling you the story about how this podcast began. Do you think that?
I'd love to hear this story.
So I was hiking through the Swedish Alps as I was oft to do when I was 15.
Yeah. As you do.
Yeah,
Travel the world while you're young.
Yeah, I mean that's what you do.
Well, you have money.
Yeah, well, I was I was quite rich when I was 15. I mean, we'll talk about that a bit later.
Yeah, that's
how that happened.
Story for another day.
But basically, it was an empire of cocaine, like in Scarface, that I had when I was about, like, I don't know,
And
5 or
Simon's
6.
getting arrested after this podcast gets released.
No, nobody will. Nobody has enough evidence to pin it on me. That's why I was so good at my job.
Yeah,
but
fantastic.
Anyway, I was hiking through the Swedish Alps because I was really interested in hiking, but exclusively in the Swedish Alps.
Yeah, because I mean, hiking is such an interesting pastime.
It is.
It's like walking. It's like, oh, I'm so interested in walking. You put one foot in front of the other consistently,
But it's
and then you go for a long time.
Don't knock hiking. It's a beautiful and wonderful hobby.
Hiking is neither beautiful nor wonderful. It is tiring and stressful. The results from hiking are beautiful and wonderful, but the actual effects of hiking is stupid.
It's not even the results,
Excuse
technically. It's going to
me,
be
you
beautiful and
uncultured
wonderful.
swine. Let me finish
Either
my
way.
story, okay? So I was hiking through the Swedish Alps.
Okay, yeah.
And
How unpleasant.
yes, and I heard the most beautiful music I'd ever heard in my life.
Oh, okay.
So I followed it.
Was it
of
by
course.
Taylor Swift?
No.
So it wasn't
not.
quite the best music you've ever heard in your life.
I'd say it was, yeah. It was by an instrument that I'd never heard before, so I was very confused by this. I followed it for about 3 hours, and it led me to the peak of one of the mountains there, where I found a cave. Yeah, and inside that cave was a giant spider eating a boy. And the spider looked me in the eye, and we had this connection, you know, this just amazing emotional connection that I had with nature at that point. And we engaged in mortal combat for, I'd say, 3 days up there on that mountain. And of course the spider won, because Mother Nature always wins over man. And I died there on that mountain. I was missing for almost 6 months, and my family was very worried about me. But I woke up suddenly, alive again, in a rice paddy in Korea, wearing nothing but a white robe, none of my possessions on me. And like Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, I had returned once again as a more powerful version of myself. And so I destined from that day I would take over the world. And that is when I killed a king and changed the history of Western Europe. And then later I started this podcast.
So I stopped listening at Spider. What happened?
I freaking hate you, because that was an amazing story. And you weren't even listening. It was a beautiful story, and you don't listen to me. Sam?
Hey Simon.
Hey, Sam, you know what?
Yeah.
Every wedding is arranged. You factor in the hand of Christ.
Did you learn that hiking in the Alps?
No, I saw it in a postcard in in the corner shop.
In the corner shop. I think it's time for another interesting story from Sam.
Interesting stories from Sam that may be true but may not be true. Ding! All my stories are definitely true, by the way. Ding ding!
So anyway, I got in a fight with a girl at uni over sand.
Okay, so the story begins with you bashing a woman.
Yeah,
Continue.
yeah. So anyway, we're arguing about sand in Spanish class because Spanish is cool. And so anyway, we got into a very heated argument about the benefits and disadvantages of sand on a beach. And the absolute...
All benefits I can think of.
The absolute
But what
horrendous...
makes it a beach?
But sand sucks. Like, it sticks to you, and it makes you highly uncomfortable, and the entire time after you get out of the beach, you're just being coated with this stupid sand, and all you can do is just, like, have to put up with it until you are able to find a shower, which at a beach is a rubbish piece of equipment that is just useless, doesn't get the sand off, let alone you are in the public, so you can't get the sand out of the bits you want to get the sand out of, because you boogie board a bit too deep into the wave and got sand into parts that hurt.
Do you know what the beach is made of?
Yeah, there's water and the sand. But I'm saying, how much better would a beach be without the sand?
You know what a beach would be without sand? It's nothing. It's like rocks. Like you look at
See,
that.
now
And
that
like, that's not a beach.
that sounds highly interesting to me. Would be to go to a pebble beach, because there would be no sand.
Yeah, but there would be rocks.
Yeah, how fantastic! Imagine getting out of water, walking up the beach,
Stubbing
and
your toe every 5 seconds.
it wouldn't be that bad, surely. It wouldn't be as bad as walking on sand, and then you have to go to the toilet, and so you got to walk on the hot sand. And of course, because it's a 40-degree day in Brisbane, it's really, really hot frickin' sand.
Sam, what would it be like walking on hot rocks? Like an Indian ritual. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but at least rocks don't stick to you.
You have no case for this argument. Sand is the beach.
Okay, I'll give you a scenario. You get out of the beach, right? You go to your towel, which is covered in sand, because that's what towels do. Like, while you're swimming, they're like, cover me, sand. Because some bozo with thongs walked past, thongs in Australia being flip-flops, walked past. I thought I'd explain that just in case we had any American viewers who are from Washington. Walked past, flicked up sand onto your towel, because, that's what you do at a beach, to piss someone off. And so you go to dry yourself off. But alas, you get sand all over yourself. Sticks to your sunscreen, because you've got to wear sunscreen because you don't want to get burnt. Another interesting fact for anyone listening from Washington. And then, right, you've got sand all over you. You've got to get in your car or walk back to your hotel if you are so lucky to be staying near a beach with this sand caked on you, let alone the fact that the seawater is caked on you as well. So you become a salty, sandy, crusty thing, and it is horrible.
You know what is worse, I think, than becoming a salty, sandy, crusty thing? Getting out of the ocean and walking onto hot coals. That is used as a ritual, because it's extremely painful. And for many people, they can't actually walk on hot coals. They'll trip over and they'll die, Sam. They will die. What are you talking about? Sand is fine. I don't want to die in hot coals. What is wrong with you? You hate the beach and you hate fun. And I hate you.
I still prefer die on hot coals than walk on sand.
I'm so sorry, that was uncalled for.
It was! How can you?
Can we get just... Can we kiss?
Well, that was awkward.
Okay, so it's just me now. And Mark.
Hello? I've been here. Hi, everyone. I've been here the whole time.
It's just me now.
By the way, I hate you.
But our balls didn't touch, so it's fine.
It wasn't gay.
It usually is between the two of them.
I'm gonna have to sort this out.
Sorry,
So
Kate,
let's hear a little bit of a word from our sponsors. Bye. Thank you very much for that word from Hardcore Crack Cocaine for sponsoring the Simon v. Sam podcast. Hopefully we can get some more kosher viewers, I think. I don't know why kosher is the word I decided to use there.
Kosher cocaine.
Do you think cocaine...
Doing it the right way.
Do you think cocaine is kosher?
No.
It wasn't specifically listed in the things you couldn't eat in the Torah.
Yeah, that's very true. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Kosher cocaine. Confusing you since 1971.
Since 1971, that's very recent.
Yeah, It was a new business model that they came up with.
Okay.
Kosher. That's about the same time you started to see a lot more kosher products actually hit the market.
Can you name 12, please?
At least 12 kosher products.
I'd like you to name 12
the
kosher
first
products.
the first one that ever hit the market was kosher couches.
Yeah.
Of course, you needed to have a kosher couch because animal tested couches were just not cool. And so, if you had a pig sit on your couch, the couch was instantly not kosher.
I mean, you could have you wouldn't want a pig sitting on your couch because that's unclean, but you can have like a cow.
But see, if a cow tested the couch, completely fine.
I mean, that would be fine. Yeah.
Kosher couches.
Only cattle tested couches. They stopped using.
And that started in 1731.
1730.
1731, kosher
Okay.
couches. And it was quickly preceded by kosher corn.
Kosher corn.
Because, of course, when you associate corn, what do you associate it with?
The Jews.
Hillbillies.
Okay.
And what do
yes.
hillbillies do? Farm pigs. How unkosher is that? You cannot associate corn with pigs. Because that's just instantly unkosher.
It's true.
So therefore, kosher corn was very specifically about keeping corn away from pigs
Okay.
and pig farming.
Okay.
So that was the second one. That was
Good.
established a lot later in 1837.
I
So
don't think
there was quite a bit of distance between kosher couches, which, I mean, was a brilliant idea, and I don't understand why it never took off. But only survived for 27 years before it went bankrupt.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Are all of these examples going to be
Related to pigs?
alliterative?
Alliterative, yes.
Good. Just wanted to check because otherwise I would be very upset.
So anyway,
This is taking far too long. I think just give us like 3 more.
just 3 more.
3 more, please.
Okay. Well, the next business created was Kosher Creations.
Kosher Creations.
Kosher
Good.
Creations.
Another alliteration. Very
What a
clever.
completely clever name.
Yeah.
Had absolutely nothing to do with kosher goods. It was just a clever name.
Yeah. What were they?
I actually don't know. It's one of the ones I didn't research.
I'm just gonna look it up right now.
Okay.
It's a
So
software company. They did a.
Look at that. Formed in 1973.
Yeah. They
Just 2 years after that other company that we were talking about before.
Yeah. 1970.
Kosher Cocaine.
1973
1971.
seems very early for a software company, but
it was the first of its kind.
yeah.
Kosher programming.
They did.
But of course, it was just a name, Kosher Creations.
Yeah, they made a word processing program, nothing to do with
They attempted
Jewish law at all. So yeah.
Yeah, they attempted to reach out to the population that would be buying their product, and sadly didn't. And they folded just 6 months later, and it was quite a sad moment.
That is very sad.
Yeah, it is very sad.
So what else? You got 2 more.
I've
two
got
more
2 more.
examples of some kosher items that our Jewish listeners can humbly appreciate.
What would you
today
believe?
since 1970?
In 2007,
There
was a new company called Kosher Cocoa Pops.
Kosher Cocoa Pops.
Kosher Cocoa Pops.
Why are Cocoa Pops not kosher?
Well, of course, the word cacao, which is the way I pronounce cocoa, cacao, of course, is highly impotent for impotent.
Important.
Yes, impotent.
Yeah, I'll
for
go
people
with that.
for people that read the Torah, and in fact is unpronounceable by most Jews.
Oh, really?
So therefore, it just wasn't deemed as kosher. So to have cacao pops was just absolute. But if you said kosher cacao pops, it was completely fine. It was actually a psychological marvel that was found by scientists of the time in the Washington University.
It's not how you pronounce cocoa, though.
But that's how Jewish people liked to pronounce cacao.
In a way that they were unable
In
to
a way they couldn't
pronounce.
do it. So kosher Cocoa Pops actually changed that all. So
Okay.
Cocoa Pops nowadays, in 2006, if you got a box of cacao pops, that was it. But now, thanks to Kosher Cocoa Pops, you can now say Cocoa Pops without the need to pronounce it cacao.
Okay.
However, due to traditional reasons, I prefer to use the word cacao.
Oh,
and actually search for boxes of cacao pops. Although they are now
do they taste the same as the
10
regular?
years old. Well,
the
they're a
name
little
brand Cocoa Pop?
stale and a little bacterial because they're so old. They stopped production in 2005.
Oh, right, of course.
Because they became Cocoa Pops.
Yeah.
But so cacao pops, thanks to kosher Cocoa Pops.
2005, it's really a year for a lot of change.
It was a lot of change.
Yeah.
Which is
Cocoa
why
Pops, YouTube.
Which is why the creation of probably the most influential industry for the kosher business type was formed.
Okay.
Kosher cars.
Well, that's kosher cars. How
Kosher
are
cars.
cars not kosher already?
Well,
I
see,
assume they would be.
it just comes down to animal testing again. Just like kosher couches, it was like a full circle in 2005, where kosher cars promised that their cars would never be tested by unkosher things.
So, what you're saying is like a couple of prawns were being used as crash test dummies in the production of most vehicles. But
Exactly.
this is...
And how else do you think they performed crash tests back in 2005 without using live animals? Kosher cars simply promised
dummies?
that they wouldn't
crash
use...
dummies?
No. They promised they wouldn't use any pig-related items.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't use any seafood-related items, apart from those that are kosher.
Okay. Well,
And it was quite a revelation. Of course, it was very innovative because they began working on corn fuel, and they promised that they would only use kosher corn, so that the car was in fact completely kosher, and it was a kosher car.
wow. Before right now, I would have thought that every car was kosher, but you have opened my eyes.
I hope I've changed your life.
Well,
So please, if you're listening, make sure the next time you decide to purchase a car, make it a kosher car. Kosher cars. Doing it kosher since 2005.
thank you very much for our sponsorship from Kosher Cocaine. And we hope to get more kosher sponsors in the near future. Okay, Sam, since this is a slumber party, I think we should do some slumber party activities. So, how about we start? Who do you like?
No one. I'm lonely and sad. Have you not already picked that up from the first two podcasts?
The answer was this is
Oh,
this
sorry,
is the
hang
second podcast.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor
is the
Swift.
answer.
Yeah, okay.
Taylor Swift.
Okay, sorry.
Taylor Swift is my answer too.
Who do you have a crush on?
No, I'm supposed to say Taylor Swift, but my girlfriend.
Is it possible to have a crush on your girlfriend?
Oh yeah.
Like, does that not break the premise of crush?
Oh no.
But then again, I mean, crush is a strange word because you crush a lemon, but then you have a crush on a girl, but they're completely different meanings.
No, they're not.
Do. Simon and Sam podcast. Now with added effects.
Your punishment should be more severe. Hello, I'm Bane. I'm a slightly camp Bane. But not gay, because my balls can touch Batman. Hello. Hello.
Simon, if you think about it, marriage is always arranged if you consider the hand of God.
What? That's accurate. Sam. So I have a ghost story for you.
Oh, ghost story time.
It was a dark and stormy night. Except it wasn't. It was a night very much like this one. So, not dark and stormy, but the trees still fell over. And on this night, everybody was afraid.
I'm tingling with terror.
Everybody was just
That would have been extremely loud.
under a general malaise because of the economic downturn. Dun, 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 dun. That was my ghost story. Did you like it?
I got goosebumps.
Okay, can you tell the ghost story
Okay.
now? Okay.
Once upon a time,
Bum bum bum.
there was a ghost,
Ooh.
and he had a story. The end.
What? What? That had multiple layers of twists at the end there. Does that mean you're the ghost? Or the ghost had a story? Or the story was telling the ghost about its... The ghost was telling the story about itself, and you were retelling that story as if you were the ghost, as if it was a play where you were the ghost? Can I have some Pringles? You're listening to a very spooky version of the Taylor Swift podcast.
Please tell me the story of how you stopped doing cocaine.
The kosher stuff got too expensive, so we just went to the regular stuff.
So Mark's just told us that he stopped doing cocaine when the kosher got too expensive.
Yeah, because Mark is Jewish. Mark is my Jewish Siamese twin.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
from
not
the
Jewish,
fact
but
that
he's
I'm
Jewish.
the only one sleeping proves that I don't do cocaine.
But also proves that you're Jewish and prudent with your time.
Was that racist?
So there's another slice of the racist pie.
I would say it just proves that I'm Christian and overtired.
So
See, if you actually think about it, being Christian makes you tired.
So I'm gonna tell you.
Logic by Mark.
I'm gonna tell you my story about how I quit cocaine.
Oh, I'm interested by this.
I
I'll
was
try to
probably
pay attention beyond the giant spider.
I was probably about 6 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was what, 2 years ago?
You're a jokester. You are. You're all those little wisecracks over there. Ha ha ha. Anyways, I was sitting in a giant pile of snowy white cocaine sitting on the I was sitting at my desk, and I just
Oh yeah.
you know, I was
Was it a mini desk because you're only 6 and had shorter legs than you do now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a small desk that had a tidy tray.
A tidy tray.
Also,
Great way to store cocaine.
yeah, also full of cocaine. And I was planning on selling it to these
Was the tidy tray supplied by kosher compartments?
No,
No?
it wasn't. I'm sorry.
So it's probably not a good place to put kosher cocaine into the non-kosher compartment.
Because
Anyway.
the compartment
Sorry,
was
continue.
tested by pigs.
Continue your story.
So I was about to sell all the cocaine to this a Puerto Rican gang called the pigs. So, you know, kosher cocaine would not...
No, would not agree with being sold to the pigs.
No.
No. Also, not a great name for a gang.
So they were going to... Well, I mean...
But then again, they're Puerto Rican, so the Spanish word for pig is definitely not pig.
do you know the Spanish word for pig if you study Spanish?
Cordillo.
That's actually a great name for a gang.
Yeah.
The Cordillos.
The Cordillos.
They referred to themselves as the pigs, so... Anyway, they were coming to pick up, do the deal, and I just decided that I was gonna... I just started school for the first time. I was in pre-prep. I was like, I gotta stop this life, man. I'd made enough money. I was comfortable, you know, I was living in like a villa in Italy and stuff like that. I just wanted to give up, you know. I just wanted to give up that life. And I had this moment. From the ceiling comes this spider, and it looks me right in the eyes, and I have this beautiful moment with nature. And the spider, of course, is high on cocaine. And
as spiders are.
yeah, I mean they are.
How else do you spin a web? Like really, what do you think goes through a spider's mind when it goes, "Oh, I'm gonna make a web"? It's got to clearly be high on cocaine when it gets to that
Tons
point.
and tons of cocaine.
Yeah. You hope it's, well, are spiders kosher?
Oh, no.
Kosher arachnids.
Anyway, so then the spider comes up to me and whispers in my ear, Simon, you know, you're not writing your name right in preschool. You know, they're going to ask you to repeat. I didn't want to do that, so the pigs came in, and I'm like, take it all for free. And that's how they sort of started up as one of the biggest drug syndicates in all of Puerto Rico. And I stopped doing cocaine.
Wow. That was an intense story. That was riveting from start to finish.
That's also how I started pre-prep. Past pre-prep.
Past pre-prep.
Yeah.
That would have been very difficult to say as a prepper. Or
Not for me.
A past pre-prepper.
I was on lines and lines of cocaine, so...
It would all made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's why they put Disney shows on in the morning? Because all the kids are on cocaine? And
That's
so,
exactly why.
Looney Tunes make sense, to them?
Mm-hmm.
That's great programming scheduling there.
Yeah.
Realising the potential of the audience.
And I know from experience that time of day is exactly when the high peaks. If you're on it at all times. That's it. Thank you for listening to Side A of the Taylor Swift Appreciation Podcast. This is the second episode, and hopefully we'll have more to come. Yeah! Please turn to Side B for a list of kosher options in a store near you.